Hi, Badoo crew. This is Charlie. I'm here today with Nelson Collado of Cossart Gordon, a niche Madeira producer. And I'm hoping to talk a little bit today about one of the more exciting, unique, and just diverse sides of the wine world that maybe not a lot of people know about. So, Nelson, Madeira. We as wine professionals, we know how special it is. We know a little bit of the history, but can you share with, some of our, loyal followers why Madeira is so special, a little bit of the history, and why they should get excited about Madeira?
Perfect. So thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk. So from this special wine that is the Madeira wine, and because it's a very small island, belongs to Portugal. They have 40 by 40 miles, very small, more near Morocco that we are in from mainland, and we produce one of the best wines in the world. It's a wine that is more rare because the area, total area of vineyard at the moment for all islands of all the producers is 380 hectares. It's very small, and we produce some different wines. The big difference between Madeira wine and port wine, that's 45 wine as well. One of them is the quantity that we produce. You have an idea, guys? Port wine they produce 75 million liters by year. We produce 3.2 million liters. So a niche of a niche.
No, yeah, very, very niche. And we have here some, wonderful examples of the niche within a niche side of Madeira. Some vintage Madeiras, one from 1978, one from 1975. And you were telling us that the grape in this particular one, the Terrantes, there's how many hectares on the entire island?
We have 4 hectares total land. But if you move for the Boalver variety as well, that is the medium sweet style of Madeira, we have just 14 hectares as well. So it's super rare. But you can pairing with food. It is exciting today about Madeira is the food pairing that you can use it with Madeira. Not just with the top wines that we have here today. As you can use it with the 5 years old, the 10 years old, and you can pairing because Madeira each grape variety represents one style. So if you want a dry style, you go to the social. If you want a medium dry style, you go to the Verdelho. This one that we don't have here.
Off to the side, the
Yeah,
Verdelho, but there are all these different styles, all these different,
always,
potential
always.
food pairings, which I think also it's fair to say compared to other fortified wines like port you mentioned, there's maybe a little more versatility here in Madeira than with ports where it's like, I don't know, you having a blue cheese, chocolate. Here you could have it with even seafood because there's a
Always,
unique
always.
salinity to these. It's surrounded by the Atlantic. There's a lot more of a versatile flavor, like versatile set of flavors in Madeira, I find more often than not in other fortifieds.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And this becomes by the acidity that we have. The acidity becomes from the soil. We have a volcanic island with more than 5 million years. So all this acidity come behind the island on the sea until the top of the mountain. Some of the vineyard that we have, they are around 800 meters sea level, so it's very, very high. And other ones, like the Torrentes, we are in the sea level exactly, so you can have some salinity that you find. So if you have the dry style, it's perfect combination. If you have a seafood, if you have a spicy food, some Thai food, Japanese food like sushi, sashimi, going super well with Verdelho and with Circial. If you want to go to the wall, what is it? The blue cheese that you mentioned very well, the flaca, or as a dessert wine as well, like a Camberley is a perfect combination. And Malmsey is the most sweet style of Madeira. They come from the dessert wine, like the traditional one, that you can find all the aromas of coffee, tea, marmalade, everything in the glass. If you don't want a dessert, a Malmsey in the end can be a good solution.
And also one thing, that, some other fortified wines have this long-lived quality to them. But Madeira, I think you were saying earlier, you pop the cork on one of these bottles, you set it aside on the counter in your fridge. It doesn't matter if you go back to that same bottle in a year, forgot about it, it'll still taste just as delicious. So these wines are, well,
But this is our secret. We need to sell the wine.
that is, yeah, they need to sell wine and best to, consume them with friends and over a nice meal. But Madeira is indestructible and has some of the most, wonderful, expressive aromas, taste to it. So, it's difficult to have just one glass at a time. And I'd be surprised if you have a bottle as nice as one of these in your collection. I doubt this is lasting more than, a week or one nice sit down with, family and friends.
I agree with
Anyway,
you.
Nelson, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for telling us a little bit about Madeira, and hopefully we can have one or two more tips of this before you head out.
Okay.